Hey, good morning, everybody. Well, it's been a while, as it usually is in between videos, but I heard the news about the Toa Hagah contest coming up for the TTV channel with all the new restrictive rules and all that. Which I have mixed feelings about it. Some parts I like and I think are definitely should be a part of the contest. Others, not much, but I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to show off my new and improved Toa Hagah, and which I think to this day, except for maybe the very first video I made, is the most popular and most viewed video of mine that's on YouTube. So thank you so much, guys, for showing me all that love for that, and it touches me deeply. And I honestly thought it would have been one of my stop motions, but I mean, after thinking about it, it's like, yeah, it's not the best stop motion out there. But anyways, surprising, but a welcome surprise. So let's get right to it. So unlike some of the versions of these that I had in the original Toa Hagah video, I did take some time to use this magical device called a Sharpie. They work wonders, the metallic Sharpies, and I mean, you can see the evidence of it right here, just on the mask right here. You can see just how beautifully it blends into the rest of the pieces here that are also of this kind of goldish bronze color as well. So this is Koala's new and improved with the new Sharpie mask and the little horn things. And these little shin pads right here, I also colored them in the goldish bronze color. There's really not a whole lot else that I changed about him. I mean, the chest plate as well, and then the spear. And I had to really listen and look into the rules to figure out whether this would be approved or not. Because I think some of you guys, me included, we misinterpreted some of the rules to say that the spear tips for the Toa Hagah, that it has to be like a one-piece thing that fits onto the end. That's not exactly what was said in the description. And when I rewatched and re-listened to the video that TTV put out, they did specify that it's like a one-ended spear. Like the whole point of them having that rule in there is to avoid any of the Toa Hagah having like two things, like one on each side of the staff. So once I was able to clarify that, then I felt a little better doing this cool little doohickey for koalas here. And for another Toa that I'll get to in a moment. But yeah, I'm very happy with the way Koala's turned out here. Just with the colorings and the spear change. I like him even better than he was before, quite frankly. And then getting over here to Toa Hagah Gaki. There went quite a number of changes. I added a little more detail to the legs right here. This is not leg armor. This is just different texturing that I wanted to use for her shins. And then for the shield, pretty much stayed the same. I did color like a few tiny pieces here and there silver just to make it look more visually pleasing. I did beef up her forearms a little bit with some Lego system. Similar thing with her calves down here. You can kind of see that a little bit. And I also found these shoulder pad pieces from an old Exo4 set that I never put the stickers on. So I figured, hey, that looks like it could actually fit on there pretty well. You know, it has a little bit of a feminine vibe to it. All right. Take that how you will. But I thought the shaping would work very well with her. So I tried it out before doing the silver on it. And I thought, you know, I like the shaping of this. And I did add in some system pieces in here to kind of smooth it out a little bit. So looking pretty solid right there. Chest plating, I think this is a different chest plate than what she had on before. I don't remember what the older version looked like. And then the mask, I changed it a little bit after comparing this with the older one I was using. The older one did seem to have a little too much going on with the cheeks and whatnot. So I figured something a little more subtle here would be more appropriate. Yeah, I know. These mocks are not going to be judged based off of their masks, but I mean, just for myself canonization into this whole thing, I wanted to do it. So that's a personal thing. And I decided to go with the Trident piece here. I, I had to go through a lot of decision-making processes to come to this decision because I was thinking about trying to do like a multiple piece thing with like 3 blades coming out, or maybe some kind of harpoon-like weapon. I did think of that. But the more I compared those to this simple Trident piece, I don't know, I just kept coming back to this. And when I compared them back and forth, my hand just kept going back to this thing. So I was like, well, I guess I shouldn't fight against that instinct. Let's go ahead and stick with it. So that's my Gaki submission into the contest. Bomanga. And not to throw any hate his way, but out of all the Toa Hagah that I've changed up or made adjustments to, I think this is probably the one that I'm least content with. Not to say that I'm not happy with it. I love this improved version. Really, the only thing that changed was I was able to color the rest of his mask kind of in that Sharpie gold color, and I changed the spear tip piece right here. So, and admittedly, it doesn't look as impressive as the spear tip he had before, but if I had kept with that other spear piece, I felt like it would have been a little bit too much compared to some of the other spear tips. I didn't want it to kind of, I guess, get dinged on that penalty that they said they were going to do. Like if any spear tips are like substantially bigger or smaller than Norik's and Naruni's spear tips, that I didn't want to get into that territory. So I thought maybe doing a spear tip that's a little smaller, a little more subtle might be more appropriate. I don't think I really have much else to say about this. I did realize that these thigh pieces right here, I was having so much trouble just trying to find that in my collection in black. So I had a black Sharpie, so why not just do some black Sharpieing to help out with the overall look to it, right? And doesn't that just look so much better than having dark gray limbs on the arms and the thighs? So anyway, personal thing there. I'm really pleased with the results. That's Bomanga. Put him back here. Oh, I forgot to mention his calves. I also beefed up the calves a little bit right there. And the ankles as well. Put him back over here. And then onto my personal favorite of the 4 in terms of improvement, Pooks. And I love the transformation that he went through for this competition. And not gonna lie, out of the original 4 that I had created for my most popular Bionicle video with the Toa Hagah slideshow, out of those 4 Hagah that I made, Pooks was no question my least favorite. I don't know what it was. It's like I kept looking back at that multiple times throughout the year and just thinking, man, that neck looks weird. And that head just looks too big compared to the other ones. There's so many things that I didn't really like too much about it, but I tried out some new things, new chest plate, different leg and arm designs, completely different mask, as you can see, and a different spear tip. I'm very pleased with how this whole thing turned out. I still surprise myself as like how I was able to turn my least favorite Toa Hagah into now currently my favorite of the 4. So let's get into some of the breakdowns here. So I opted for the spear tip piece with the foot edition here. I don't remember who it was, but I think someone had commented in one of my videos that they always imagined, I guess, Pooks having a spear tip like with the Toamata Pohatu's old like shoe pointer things right here. And I thought, I'll try that out. But when I tried it by itself, it looked a little plain to me, and it had this weird thing jutting out. So I decided to just kind of make a little adjustment to that, flush it out a little bit with this little claw piece right here. Also kind of harkening back to Toa Nuva Pohatu, just kind of mixing the 2 together right here. And I'm really pleased with the result here. It's like my favorite spear tip so far. Different chest plate. I did use some silver Sharpie on there. And the mask right here, you can get a closer look at what's happening here. Very pleased with how this turned out. And some people have been doing like the scope pieces for Koala's mask, and you know, not to throw any hate their way, I think Koalas looks good with the scope on. For me personally, I don't feel like it makes a whole lot of sense for the mask of Rahi control to have like a scope piece on it. I felt like it made more sense for Pooks, who has the mask of emulation. And the whole point of the mask of emulation is to like target and copy the abilities of another sapient being. That's according to the lore right there. That's not something I just made up. So based off of that, I felt it would be more appropriate for him to have more of a scope piece going on here. What other changes did I make? Let's see, I changed the forearms a little bit, but that's nothing new. I kind of did the same thing with all the other guys. The shins a little bit right here. You can see some system additions just to flush out the legs there. I'm really pleased with the ankle work back here. I tried to do something slightly different with the ankles for each one, just to add some variety. I guess the only other big things I can spot on here that I changed were the shoulder pads right here. And you can see a little bit of the arms and the legs right here. I don't know if the camera is picking up the color difference or not, but those used to be a dark gray color. And I'm telling you, I tried my hardest to look through my whole collection to see if I could find these pieces in brown. And I only found one. And I was so shocked at that. I thought, I could have sworn that I had more of those. So I looked on Bricklink to see, what sets these pieces came in brown. And there was only one set that popped up on the list. And it was for one of the Visorak sets, the brown one. Raparak, I believe it was. And yeah, but even that in that set, it only came with one of those. So that's why I only have one in my collection. So I figured the next best thing I got, I have the silver Sharpie, so I'll just kind of Sharpie that as well and just kind of treat that as, like armor extension around the shoulder, So those are my submissions for the Toa Hagah Canon contest. And I know some of you guys might be wanting to see the other two Toa Hagah. I'll go ahead and show it to you guys. I don't really see much point in doing so other than so you guys can see all 6 of them together, I suppose. But Aruni here, I didn't really make any changes to him. He doesn't need any changes. But there he is, right there. And then for Norik right here, there he is, just as heroic and shiny as ever. And yeah, I did notice the spear tip, and when they're all in the group shots, I am using the spear tip, but we also have to consider here, we're not judging Norik off of his spear tip and making sure it's all silver and whatnot. I did think about sharpening the whole thing silver, but this is just kind of a personal thing. I didn't think that would look as good as the different colors right here, because he's got the black and dark red and silver all over the place, and I like the little color mixture there. And if TTV staff dings me for it and they let me know, hey, everything's good, but we'd appreciate if you change this silver, I'll go ahead and change it to silver. But until that happens, I'm just going to leave this the way it is. We're really only judging off of the other 4 Toa Hagah anyways. So put it right here. Boom. Alrighty. Well, that's really all I intended to do in this video. Just something quick that I can do. And I'm sorry about the video camera quality. And usually I use my phone. It's got a little bit better quality, but I wanted to do like a quick live stream one with my laptop, so that would so it would be a little easier for me to just get this done, show you guys my work, and be able to get to work on time, because I have it starting in about an hour. Now, thankfully, it's pretty close by, so I don't have to drive that far. So for those of you tuning in live, thank you so much. I see there's like a couple of you guys on here. You guys are early birds like me. But yeah, even if you guys are seeing this after the case, thanks for popping in. So you guys have a wonderful rest of the week, and I will see you in the next video. This is Makuta Alvarez signing out.